Hey guys, Yoshima-san back at it with another video, and today we are talking about ARMS. Now I know what you're probably wondering. Why are we talking about a game and a franchise that basically is dead and has been dead probably for, 7 years now? And the main reason is because Dragon Drive came out and a lot of people were comparing that game with ARMS. So much to the point where I was curious to see like, okay, was ARMS really that bad? And I went back to it with the Switch 2, and honestly, I think it deserves a comeback. Now, before I explain myself, if you guys don't mind liking the video or subscribing to the channel, we do a lot of Nintendo content over here. We just did Dragon Drive, the review for that, and we're gonna do Kirby next week. So if you're looking forward to more content like that, please hit the subscribe button. But anyways, enough shilling. Let's talk about why I believe ARMS deserves a comeback. Sometimes a game comparison could send you down a rabbit hole you weren't expecting. With the release of Dragon Drive, I kept seeing people bring up ARMS, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized, yeah, ARMS deserves a comeback. So let's rewind a bit. Back in 2017, the Switch launched and Nintendo had one of the best first years a console has ever seen. We're talking Breath of the Wild, which wasn't just a game, it was a moment. Splatoon 2 came in and solidified that series wasn't just a one-off Wii U experiment, it was here to stay. Xenoblade 2? Okay, I know some people are mixed on it, but in my opinion, it's the reason Xenoblade has the fan base it does today. And then you had Mario Odyssey, the cherry on top that made the Switch a must-own console. And then there was ARMS. Now I still remember watching the reveal trailer. My first thought was, okay, this looks neat, but probably not for me. It looked like a better version of Wii Sports Boxing, and the emphasis on motion controls turned me and a lot of people off. Yeah, there were standard controls, but Nintendo really wanted you to swing those brand new Joy-Cons like you were trying to scare off a raccoon in your backyard. But even with the skepticism, the fact that Nintendo was releasing a brand new IP just months after the Switch's launch, that was exciting. It reminded me of when Splatoon first dropped on the Wii U, another weird, colorful Nintendo experiment that won me over the second I played it. So launch day rolls around, I ended up grabbing the game. I thought the visuals looked gorgeous and the character designs were super creative, and I was totally vibing with the music. I even planned a day with my friends to come over to my apartment and play it. We were all hyped to try it out. And about an hour later, we looked at each other and said, yeah, this is cool, so Smash? And that was it. Since then, I maybe dusted it off once or twice to show it off to family or justify the purchase. But honestly, after 2017, it just sat on my shelf. Fast forward to today, with Dragon Drive bringing all these ARMS comparisons back, I decided to give it another shot. And I found out the Switch 2 even has an upgraded version, better resolution, HDR support, smoother frame rate, so I convinced my girlfriend to play it with me. What was supposed to be a quick nostalgia session turned into hours of fun. Even after she called it quits, I kept going, and that's when it hit me. ARMS deserves a comeback. Here's the thing, Nintendo isn't known for abandoning their IP so quickly. Even Star Fox and Metroid kept getting chances, and those don't always sell like gangbusters. But it's been 8 years, and the only mention of ARMS has been Min Min and Smash and the Switch 2 update. That's a shame because ARMS has a lot going for it. For starters, the controls are fantastic. Whether you're using motion or sticking with traditional buttons, the game just feels right. Movement is snappy, punches have weight, and curving your arm around an opponent to land a sneaky hit is one of the most satisfying things I've ever done in a fighting game. It's approachable enough that anyone can hop in and throw punches, but once you spend more time with it, you start seeing the strategy underneath. Blocking, grabbing, countering, it's got that easy to learn, hard to master quality that makes a fighting game stick. And then there are the characters. This is where ARMS really shines with that Nintendo charm. You've got Ribbon Girl bouncing all over the stage with her multiple jumps, and Jara pulling ninja tricks by vanishing in the middle of a dash, Helix being this weird science experiment that stretches and wobbles all over the place, and my personal favorite, Mechanica, a kid who literally built her own mech suit just so she can compete with the pros. That's such a cool idea, and it gives the roster a mix of personality and playstyle variety that keeps matches interesting. On top of that, you can customize your loadout with different gloves. Some are heavy and slow but hit like a truck, others are quick and curve easily, and then you got the elemental ones that freeze, shock, or set your opponents on fire. It makes every match feel unique, and no two players are ever quite the same. And the modes, man, I've forgotten how fun they are. Yeah, standard 1v1 fights are the main event, but then you got goofy side modes like V-Ball, which is just volleyball but with fists, or Hoops, where you literally dunk your opponent into a basketball net. They're chaotic, they're silly, and they're exactly the kind of party game energy that makes a multiplayer session unforgettable. The presentation deserves credit too. Everyone knows the main theme because it's basically a meme at this point, but the whole soundtrack is catchy and keeps the pace moving. Pair that with the bright comic book style visuals, and ARMS has an identity that still feels fresh today. It doesn't look or sound like any other Nintendo game, and that's a good thing. And I have to mention, the online play, honestly, not that bad, especially for Nintendo in 2017. The rotating party lobbies, the smooth matches I got back then, it actually worked, which is more than I can say for Nintendo even today. That's why it frustrates me. This game has so much charm, so much potential, and Nintendo just stopped. I could have seen a future where ARMS was played competitively, where it had a sequel that refined everything the first game started. If Mario and Rabbids can get a sequel, then ARMS absolutely deserves one. Just look how Splatoon 2 and Xenoblade 2 took their franchises to the next level with some polish. There's no reason ARMS couldn't do the same. So yeah, I'm standing by it. ARMS deserves a comeback. But what do you guys think? Did you play ARMS back in 2017, and do you think it deserves a sequel? Or was it one and done for you? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's why I believe ARMS deserves a comeback. Like I mentioned, guys, a lot of Nintendo IPs get the one game, it's a little mixed, and then they come out with that sequel that really carries the franchise forward. And I feel like ARMS could totally be that game. Just polish a little bit things here and there, make it a little bit more streamlined, and you know, I could totally see it being the next big Nintendo franchise. Maybe I'm crazy, but what do you guys think? Do you believe ARMS deserves a second chance? And do you know any other games that you believe deserves a comeback, maybe even more than ARMS? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyways guys, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.